So if someone is looking into invest in real estate, also should definitely know about exactly in and out of the real estate before they invest. But like if you take a 35 million house, we just have to focus one house and sell within a month. So if you sell one house within a month worth of 35 million, we get about 1,050,000 as commission. Even if they are coming from a non-real estate background, we teach A to Z of the real estate. We have done a thorough research on the modules that is covered in the other countries also.
Hello everyone. So today we are here to explore about the dynamic and ever-evolving world of real estate. So real estate is not only shaping about our cities or communities, but also it drives significant economic growth. To talk about real estate industry, today Mr. Azir Nawaz, Director and CEO of Pro Realtors Academy is joining with us. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, so to start things off, could you please tell us about Pro Realtors Academy and also what this real estate masterclass?
Yeah, sure, Meona. Now, if you take the real estate industry in Sri Lanka, at the moment there is no any education systems when it comes to real estate. So there is no way anyone can access a real estate knowledge from anywhere. So that is what we thought. There is a huge gap when it comes to real estate industry for someone to learn and get their knowledge on the real estate. If you take the other countries like Dubai, even Qatar, even if you take Australia, Canada, USA, any country, they have an education system where they want to, anyone who is entering into real estate, they have to follow a course where they want to gather the knowledge about the real estate, and they have to even face an exam, and also after the exam they will be issued with a license for them to work in the real estate industry. But currently in our country at the moment, it's not mandatory for them to have the licensing when it comes to real estate. But what we thought was, it's not limited for us to give the knowledge of real estate even though there is no licensing at the moment. So that is the reason we wanted to have this Pro Realtors Academy, where we give the overall knowledge. If you take the real estate also, there are so many areas. I will cover with that part under the modules that we cover. But if you take the overall real estate, there are so many areas where you have to learn before you practice in real estate. So which we will be providing under one roof, overall knowledge about the real estate. And also we actually, like anyone who is entering into real estate, for them to understand and the overall knowledge, if you want to take, it takes a lot of time, like 2-3 years maybe it can take. So here within a shorter period of like 2 months time, we will be giving an essential idea on the real estate for anyone who want to enter, or even someone who is in the real estate. They also can actually gain a lot of more knowledge on the real estate. So that is this program is about what we are doing, real estate masterclass.
So when we are talking about this course, who is this course actually designed for?
Yeah, so if you take this course, Meona, I would say anyone in the world should learn about the real estate. Because if you take the real estate, or we can put it in the other way, if you take 3 essential needs, that is food, clothing and the shelter. So shelter is it's an essential need. So when we say shelter, it's real estate. So basically in someone's life, definitely they will have to buy a property or sell a property, or they will have to rent out a property. So this particular instance you will face at least once in a lifetime. So if you take this, anyone in the world actually want to know about the real estate. So apart from that, if you keep that aside and talk, so if someone is working in the real estate, should know definitely about the real estate industry. So sometimes it's considered the real estate industry in Sri Lanka also a little bit underrated, because there are people without the knowledge who is trying to work in the industry. But firstly, like, they want to learn definitely about the real estate, who are in the real estate industry. And also, if someone is willing to invest in the real estate, so we say, like, always you should know where you put your money and where you invest, and you should know what kind of return that you can get. So if someone is looking into invest in real estate, also should definitely know about exactly in and out of the real estate before they invest. So that is someone who definitely want to know. And even someone who really want to enter into the real estate industry, because if you take even after advanced level or any education, after that, if you see what industry you want to join, so real estate is a very attractive industry for them to get financial freedom. So even if someone wants to join into real estate industry, definitely this is the course. I have to say, this is the first and only course that is in Sri Lanka at the moment. So we have very experienced lecture panel, so I will cover that part also, like under the modules, who are the lectures that we have. If you take for the to answer that question, real estate is basically for everyone, so everyone should definitely learn about real estate.
I should really ask you this question. Why would someone need to know, and why would someone get into real estate industry?
Okay, good question, Meuna. So if you take the real estate industry, I would say like most of the time, the industry, when it comes to the decision of the industry, which industry to join, mainly lies on the earning potential. So if you take the earning potential, in Sri Lanka or even worldwide, so most of the millionaires and billionaires have come from the real estate industry. That's not only as a profession, but also as an investment opportunity. So you can take it in two angles, where as a real estate as a profession also they will have a lot of earning potential when it comes to the earning of the earning that you get from the real estate. And also, if you as an investment also, there is a very high potential. I'll explain it in a small with the example. So if you take the real estate industry, how can you earn $1 million in 30 days? I'll put you give like 3 examples. So one is basically, if you take a sales, the sales, real estate sales, we all know, like, we get like 3% commission when it comes to sale. So for example, like if you take a 35 million house, so we just have to focus one house and sell within a month. So if you sell one house within a month worth of 35 million, we get about 1,050,000 as commission. So if you put that into a profession where you earn about 80,000 monthly as your salary, so which will take about without any expenses, which will take about a year for you to earn that kind of money. But in real estate, if you just sell one property which worth 35 million, you can get 1,050,000 easily within a month time. Also, we'll go into the second example, which is rentals. As we know, like sales, and we have the rentals part of it, where we can rent out the property, where we find a tenant for a property, and we sign the agreement, or we find a tenant and for certain properties. So if you take in that sense also, like in now in Colombo and all, if you take, that is valued, like the rental is priced it in dollars most of the time. So minimum starts around $1,500 $2,000 per apartment for you to rent out, so which goes up to about $10,000 $15,000 as well. So for example, if we take about $2,500 property, you will have to find 2 or 3 properties in terms of rentals. So if we find 2 or 3 tenants per month, still you can get 1 million within 1 month's time. Also, I'll get into the third example where you have a property, because this industry works very, it's a very friendly industry. It's not something very competitive. We work with the other colleagues also, where we work with other colleague agents as well. So for example, you have a buyer who wants to buy a property which is around 75 million worth of property, but again you don't have that kind of property in your inventory. Still you can work with another agent and you can share the commission of that 3%. Again you earn more than 1 million without any property in your hand, but you just have to find a buyer. So like those 3 examples, this industry makes it more attractive with the high earning potential. Not only that, like anyone who is sticking into who is like working as a 8 to 5 job or anything, also can come out of it, and you can have your own real estate firm where you will be performed as an entrepreneur and work as an entrepreneur, where you build your own company within a shorter period of time. So this is what actually makes this real estate industry very attractive. And it's like, I mean, for you to earn this kind of money, there is no any risk actually. So if you see any other investment kind of, now we will say you have to have a stock market, or if you invest in any other product or a service, at least you have to invest certain amount of money for you to get some kind of return. Here what we are saying is no investment. You just have to know the game as how to do it, and then you can earn this kind of money with. But having said that, you have to have your commitments and effort. If you have those two, you will definitely be able to successful in this real estate industry. And we welcome anyone who wants to join into real estate industry and learn how we can get this kind of money and how this real estate industry work. Then you have you can earn this kind of money in the real estate.
Let's talk about the course content and what topics are covered, and also who will be conducting the sessions.
Right. As I mentioned earlier, now if you take the course, we will be actually mentoring for them to have their own firm, or rather work as an entrepreneur, have their own entrepreneurship journey. So with that in mind, our first module itself, we will be covering the new business setup, and that is basically how they can have their own business. Or if you take the business also, we have here sole proprietorship, partnership, private limited companies. So there are so many ways that they can have their own business. So we will be having a lawyer and a secretary who has experience more than 10 years, will be covering as how they can have their own business registered in Sri Lanka. In the meantime, we will be also covering, now we understand most of them are of our students are like 80%, 90% are not from the real estate industry. So they want to know what is the background, how the market performed earlier, when there was now we had faced as a country, like we have faced East attack, and then COVID in global and economic crisis, so many like conditions that we had, but still the real estate survived and real estate market was doing good. So when it comes to that time frame, also love how it was performing. So also there are key calculations as like how the return on investment works and how the capital appreciations. So these kind of buzzwords where we will be initially itself having and we also will be teaching them on the real estate market outlook for those who are entering, because we promise all the students that even if they are coming from a non-real estate background, we teach A to Z of the real estate. So we cover in first module that particular area, and also if we take the second module, we will be covering on the local authority approvals. And if you take the documentations, I mean, like if you take the land itself, land has there are approvals like plan approval, plus if there are a lot of like street lines they say, and building lines, and sometimes there is non-vesting certificates, and there are so many. I mean, anyone who is watching, no need to be scared of those technical terms, because this is what we actually teach in our the modules, because we understand, like, I mean, anyone who is coming from, they don't know about these kind of things. So we cover all these areas. Again, like I mentioned, we cover like A to Z on the local authority documentations and approvals, because especially if you take lands in the upcountry areas, then again you have to go through these NBRO approvals, and if you take the coastal areas, we will have to go for the CCD approvals also, that is Coast Conservation Department approvals. So likewise, based on the area of the land where it is situated, so there are a lot of documentations, plus the authorities involved also different each area. So these things we will be covering. Also, that is the module number 2, and module number 3, if we take, we cover the property finance and the bank loan process. Now, if we take a property, you have a property, and then you found a customer, but again, he don't want to, like, for example, if it is a 50 million property, he has only 20 million in cash, but he want to go for a bank loan, he want to finance it through a financial institution. So we should know how to, how this bank loan process operates, what are the documentations that is needed for the land or the property, like the house or an apartment, and also what are the documents that is necessary for them to take to evaluate the customer's point of view, like whether the customer is eligible for the bank loan. So, and also we cover, like, there are 9-step bank loan process within the bank. What are the processes, what are the areas that goes. So all these areas through a bank actually, he also like has about 10-15 years experience. So all are professionals. I mean, like, anyone who is teaching all these modules are like, they are expert in their subject, these subjects. So basically, so the bank loan process, the financing part, we will be covering in module number 3. And if you take the module number 4, we will be covering the marketing and sales. Now, any property that we are acquiring from the market, we should know how to market. We especially like try to teach on what is the zero cost marketing. I mean, without even spending any money, how can you get the leads to sell those kind of properties? How can you find customers, and where can you find the customers? And also sales part. Sales part is also, if you take, it's unlike any FMCG product, any product that is easily available in the market. Real estate is something, like I mentioned, though, like, it's an essential product, but again, some people, it's in once in a lifetime that they will invest. So this is a very high involvement product where people will go through a series of research and everything before they finalize a property. So this part has a little bit of psychology on it, and there's a little bit of they want to know exactly how the sales works. So that part also we will be covering under module number 4. Under module 5, we cover the legal background. So basically, under legal, we cover at least, like, anyone who don't know even to read a deed. So sometimes if you are there, maybe you will have a deed in your house, and you may be not able to read and interpret the deed also, because how many purchase there, what are the connected the land and connected deeds and all that. So this is something like I mentioned earlier itself, this is for everyone. So basically we cover how to read a deed, and also like if you take the connected deeds and we say like we check the title and all. Sometimes we teach like how to check the titles, how to check the extracts and all that. So and also we cover like basically to have how to have the lease agreement, to understand the lease agreement, what are the terms that we use in the agreements. We actually teach on like basically even there are a lot of fraudulent activities happening. So for those things also, you know, how to get an understanding on those kind of things. So this is again a lawyer who is well experienced only you know, teaching this particular module. And under module number 6 we cover the real estate and valuation. So real estate and valuation also again it's very important, because we should know the value of the properties that we deal with. Otherwise we are not, you know, confident to market those properties. And also we sometimes waste our time and energy on a property that is valued in a like highly valued. So then if you take those kind of properties, you will be, you know, wasting your money, efforts and time and everything on those kind of properties, but you will not be able to, you know, sell fast. For that you should know what is the valuation of those kind of properties. Again, a chartered valuer who will be conducting this valuation module. And also under module number 7 we will be covering property construction and the building guidelines. So anyone who want to know about the construction side of it, anyone who want to know from the foundation, if you take a land from the foundation level up to the roof level, and also the finishes of these properties, and even the pre-built properties, sometimes you know how to understand like what are the thickness of the wall, what are the materials that is used, and whether this is built according to the regulations. All these things you should know under the construction. So we cover that part in the module number 7. And finally we cover property tax also, because we know like you know there are a lot of, you know, discussions going on the taxes. So in tax also we know, we should know about exactly what is capital gain tax and what is withholding tax, and what are the taxes that comes, even the stamp duty calculations and all those are simple things where, you know, people don't know exactly how things happens. So these things we will be covering under property tax. And finally we have the property acquisitions. As a realtor, how you can, you know, from the market, how you can acquire properties from the market, how you can speak to those property owners, and how you can have your listing, how you can have your own listings. So these kind of things I think under these areas, this is actually like I mentioned earlier, we have done a thorough research on the modules that is covered in the other countries also. Because like I mentioned, like if you see all the other countries, they have this licensing program and they have the modules. So we thoroughly researched on those modules on few other countries, and also there are few contexts that we added to Sri Lankan the context as well. There are few things that we wanted to add. So with that only we have a well structured modules that we are covering in this course, our Pro Realtors Real Estate Masterclass course. So I think Meuna, like if you see, there are no any other areas that is to be covered in real estate, because we are covering almost everything in our course. So this is what actually the Real Estate Masterclass is there to offer.
Can you share a success story or an experience of a student who has already completed this course?
Sure. If you take, there are many actually. One thing, the evaluation process of our class goes as one is like examination, and then we have the assessment after the course. So it's like 70% weightage for the exam and 30% weightage for the assignment. So the assignment also, it's kind of little interesting if you take, because what we teach only they have to do as a assignment. Basically they want to find out a couple of properties around their area, for example like about 5-10 properties around their area, or whichever they feel it is easy for them to do a sale or a rental. So basically if they take such properties that is easy for them to sell or rental, there are a few students. I'll take one example. One student actually was focusing on the rental. Like I mentioned earlier also, in the earning potential, he focused on the rental properties. This is around Colombo, especially like about Colombo 3, 4, 5, 6 areas. So he focused and he took around 10 properties around that area, and he was actually using one property portal and only rental property that he was focusing. And his target was about, like I mentioned, like to try to gain 1 million. This is in the assignment time period. I have to mention this is just after the exam. It's just 1 month that he was doing this practice. And when he was doing, he managed to rent out 3 properties within that before he submitting the assignment itself. And he has given the proof also, like how the agreement proof and all that in the assignment. And he managed to earn about 500,000 through those rentals. So this is a small example that is a success story where within the assignment time period itself, he managed to earn 500,000. So the potential is very high. When I went through the assignment, actually more than the effort that we put on to this course, the self-satisfactions that we get is very high, because we see the results that whoever is all the students are achieving. Because when I went through, most of the students managed to sell a property, at least one property, or they have rented out a few properties. So like I mentioned initially itself, there are so many examples I can give a success story. So there are a lot of students. Everyone who is following the course properly will be able to definitely achieve some results by the time of the completion of this course itself.
Right. So for Sri Lankans who are living abroad or who are planning to return to Sri Lanka, how can they get into this industry while overseas or when they come back to Sri Lanka?
If you take our past batches, like we have done a couple of batches, like 5-6 batches already. And if you take like out of more than 500 students, there are students from Dubai, Qatar, and USA, Australia, UK, South Korea. So this kind of countries already they are enrolled to our course and they are studying. When I check with them, like what is the purpose of doing the course while being abroad, so their answer was they have to return on some day to the country. So if they are to return to the country, they should have a proper financial freedom or financial revenue basis for them to return to the country. So they are the one who actually think in the long run and plan their self now itself. And they are like the answer was for them to build a proper business and a revenue stream. They are doing this course because this is something they don't have to come and invest in this real estate, or rather in like they can do as a business, or rather they can do as an investment. So either way it is a opportunity for them to build their own investment as an ROI basis. They can invest, or else as a business also they can start their own real estate company when they return to Sri Lanka.
And finally, for those who are interested in this course, how can someone enroll and join the next batch?
Yeah, so we are conducting this online, Mevna. So basically what happens is we have classes online basis, mostly on weekends that we conduct the classes. But having said that, in case if there is any difficulty for someone to join on the same time, the specified time, we are also providing the recording. So if they can watch the recording also, in case if they want to have a leisure time and go through. But we of course insist for them to better if they can join live sessions, because these are not recorded lessons also, because they can join live sessions and they can ask the questions, like especially they will have a lot of questions when it comes to legal valuations. All these subjects are new to them and they will have a lot of questions, so they can ask the questions then and there. But it's online happening, so anyone who is like I mentioned from abroad also already joining, who is living abroad also can enroll to the program. So also we have the details, more details on ProRealtorsAcademy.com website as well, or else you can contact our hotline. Anyone want to excel their career in the real estate industry and have their own financial freedom, so we welcome all of them to Pro Realtors Academy. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so we believe that this discussion helped you in enhancing your knowledge about the real estate industry. And thank you so much, Mr. Azir Nawaz, Director, CEO of Pro Realtors Academy, for joining with us today. Real estate is not only about properties, it's about opportunities. So thank you so much for joining with us as we explored the real estate industry in Sri Lanka. Until next time, stay informed, stay inspired.